Welcome to the Creature Cast, the official Console Creatures podcast. I'm your host today, Steve Vigvari, and joining me, finally, it feels like we've been separated for so long, my good pal, David Petrangelo. How are you today?
I've been better health-wise.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, which is why I've passed over the reins to you for hosting duties for the week, which I am happy to do, and you're generous to accept. But yeah,
Absolutely.
Other than that, everything's all good. Everything's all good on this end. It just seems like a little bit of a cold, a little bit of a flu. If I sound a little bit stuffed up, it is because I am.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm happy to take the baton this week. I'm glad you at least made it to the show. It's a very exciting show. Bobby will be with us momentarily. It wouldn't be a Console Creatures podcast without Bobby showing up a few minutes late. So you know what? We're just gonna jump into it. There is so much to talk about this week. It's an exciting PlayStation State of Play event.
Yeah.
The first, I hope, of many. The first of the year. They followed in the footsteps of Xbox. Kind of said, hey, we're gonna lay the foundation, lay out a roadmap for the year. Kind of give you guys updates on previously existing, quantities and games, and detail some other ones that are a little down the line. So very exciting. We'll start going through it. Dave, can you believe it? We're just on the precipice of the release of Helldivers 2. February 8th, I'm not even lying, one of my most anticipated games this year.
Okay.
Only because people who might not know, I liked the original Helldivers. It was a lot more like arcadey, top-down, quick shooter kind of vibes. But this one, everything that they showed so far, and then in this state of play as well, I love the cooperative shooter aspects. You're playing with a squad of 4. You're going up against aliens. You're customizing your ship. All this fun stuff, and I think that if anything, this is going to be a couple weekends of excitement with friends. It's going to be a worthwhile little venture to kind of just see what the gameplay mechanics are, see what the gameplay loop is, if you're increasing your skills, upgrading new weapons and everything. But I really like the fact that we kick things off with just a gentle reminder, hey, we're a week away from this game, the second party PlayStation Productions game. How do you feel about Helldivers? Is this a game that's on your radar? It's coming out on PlayStation 5 and PC. A little cross-play action there.
Yeah, I think actually that's great that we're going to be able to do that. First and foremost, I think that's a smart idea. If you want to have a game like this where you need it to be populated for it to be on multiple platforms, whether it's Xbox and PlayStation or PC or whatever it might be, it's good that that's there. Games like Destiny really sort of thrive off of that as well. Because as far as I know, that's also like a cross-platform thing, and has been or whatever. So like something like that, I think keeps your player base larger, and the opportunity for it to grow even down the line, as opposed to even just at the beginning, like you were saying, like a weekend or two. Hopefully, the goal is for this to go past that, and that's what I hope it is. This is this was on my radar from when we saw it last year. I believe it was in the summer, and it was like, wow, I have very little experience with the first one. I do remember playing it and enjoying it, but didn't blow my socks off by any means. But and that's several years ago at this point, so it's pretty far removed from that, and definitely looking like obviously a completely different game. So it looks great. I am all for the third person aspect of this. I like that. I've said on the record on the podcast before and elsewhere that first person is sort of falling by the wayside for me as a style of game. And this kind of game probably wouldn't be as high on my list of anticipation if it was in first person, honestly. I want to see the world around me. I want to see these bugs and these creatures exploding to the left of me, to the right of me, to the ones I'm shooting in front of me, to them landing down, to me jumping up in high places or holding my shield and running around. I want to see what my character looks like if I'm going to be able to customize it, which is what it seems like we can also do as well. So I'm excited for this. This looks like fun. And it's I don't know if they've said exactly how many people can be in a group. It looks like it's probably teams of 3 or 4. That's the sweet spot for getting a few friends together and playing it.
Yep.
And hopefully that's enough to keep it going, because it looks like they've put a lot of really solid effort into this, and it looks cool. This is great that we don't have to wait long for this either. I think the rest of the stuff that we're going to talk about seems like it's a little bit further off, or at least some of it is.
Yeah.
This is nice. That's literally in the next week, which is
Yeah,
great.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. The next game that they kind of started to detail here, they gave us a big, sizable chunk of Stellar Blade, another highly anticipated PlayStation exclusive. It's coming to PlayStation 5 on April 26th. Get a bit of a glimpse into the gameplay, the story, the setting, the characters here. It looks very weird. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
When watching this, I don't fully comprehend exactly what's going on here. That being said, as soon as it kicks from like the cinematic sections into the gameplay, I'm like, oh, this is 100% me. Love the combo. I love the frenetic action in this game. It just looks like a lot of fun. I think it just has a lot to carry on its shoulders of, hey, we're this brand new IP, this brand new world. Let's onboard all these players. I think that might be a little bit of a struggle at first,
Mm.
but I'm down. I'm optimistic. I'm open to the idea of jumping into this game. I think it's coming out at a great time. April being kind of a slower spot as far as the calendar year right now. We don't have
As
too
far as
many
we
games
know.
coming out.
As far as we know.
Exactly.
That could
Exactly.
change. Yeah.
Yeah, that can change at a drop of a hat. But right now, I mean, just based on it, I think it's got the production quality there. The cinematics look really gorgeous. But I have no idea what is happening here.
Yeah, there's some really weird, interesting stuff, which is in some ways an oxymoron, but not really. It's it's weird, but it's interesting. It's cool, but I don't know, like, what kind of cool. No, I do I really get what's going on here? I don't know. Are they supposed to be really laying all the lore and story to us in just one trailer? It's okay that it's not that. But it definitely looks original and creative, and I am all for that. Like, I like the fact that everything we're seeing here is, or the vast majority of it is, stuff that we haven't seen before. And that's great. There's a mix of, like you said, the gameplay and of cinematics and stuff. I was a little bit like unsure of what I was watching in the first like couple minutes, because this look is probably a good 5 minutes or
Yeah.
so, and I was like, what is this? It's not really my vibe. Like, the setting looks cool, the characters look unique, like I said, and stuff, but like, I don't know. And then when it really gets more into what the gameplay is, it reminded me of the Ninja Gaiden games from in the
Yes.
Xbox era,
Yeah.
and I love those games. I think those like, talk about like a Ninja Theory game that and franchise that I absolutely love. That is like, especially the Black and, is it Sigma Black or something? I can't remember. There's like 2 or 3 that came out on the original Xbox that I played the hell out of and I absolutely love. That's what this kind of felt like. So it's similar to that, where it's probably going to be difficult and punishing, but you're going to be able to lay out some pretty cool combos and blocks and abilities and things like that. And now you're doing it in this really crazy, unique world. And that's cool to me. Like, hopefully for me, a game like this, the story hits for me and the characters mean something to me. But as far as the gameplay goes, it looks like you said, also up my alley. So I don't know if that, you said yes. Is that kind of what you felt too? You're like, ooh, Ninja Gaiden.
No, exactly. Like there are so many little snippets there that just bring me back to the playing on the original Xbox, where I was like, oh
Mhm.
my god, even the running animations
Yeah.
look like they're stripped
She's
out
like
of
leaning
Ninja
forward
Gaiden.
just a touch, and like, yeah,
Yeah.
just sort of
Yeah,
the
there's just like
figure.
subtle
Yeah.
hints there here and there.
Yeah.
Developed by Shift Up. It's a Korean development studio, not really known for any other projects. So I'm
Mm.
pretty impressed here. I mean, Sony definitely sees something here. They're investing in it, like purchasing the marketing rights for it. So I'm again, I have an open mind for everything. Gameplay's really sold me, and yeah, March 20 or April 26th.
Yeah, it's not far off. So
No.
that's pretty good. Just a couple months, and yeah, there's a lot of looks like it's pretty deep. There's some RPG-ish elements to it and everything, which is
Mhm.
really fun. But yeah, the gameplay is really what I'm interested in, and just the way it looks too is great. So I'm just gonna be cautiously optimistic based on like I hope I like the characters in the story because I have a feeling that the gameplay is what is really going to work for me. So I just want to see the other half of it or experience the other half of it because I'm confident in the gameplay aspect of it, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Moving forward just a little bit, we got a look at Sonic X Shadow Generations releasing this fall. Now, I didn't play Sonic Generations. I'm not a Sonic person. Dave, save me here. I have really nothing to say about this game, to be totally honest.
I don't have a ton to say either. I don't believe I've played this. I have decent experience with Sonic, but mostly on the really old school 2D stuff. Like that's pretty
Yeah,
much it. The first three, Sonic and Knuckles and 3 and 2, like those ones, playing them on Game Gear and Genesis, like that's really what Sonic has been for me, for pretty much my whole life. I like the way this looks though. Like the art style and what they've done to this looks great.
sure.
Literally looks like a Saturday morning cartoon. I'm all for that with some flashy elements to it. So, I mean, it looks fun, but Sonic is hit and miss with me depending on how they choose to do their gameplay. So, but hey, more Sonic. People are excited about Sonic these days because the movies are fantastic in my opinion. So
That's very fair.
I know I have friends of mine that have kids that are huge Sonic fans because they saw those movies and they love them and now they want to play Sonic games,
Yeah.
new or old. They want to play them. So
Yep.
they're this stuff is hitting at the right time. So we got several months to play this, but I can't save you. Sorry, I don't know what to compare it to. So
It's okay. It's okay. Sonic Shadows, not my MO. So I'm sorry if anyone out there is disappointed. I don't have much to say about it here. It's just never done anything for me. Moving forward just a little bit, we've got Zenless Zone Zero, a tongue twister of a title coming to PlayStation 5 TBD. Who knows when?
right.
It's definitely got an art style to it.
Yep.
It
It
looks
has a style.
it has art. Yeah, again, we've seen this game so many times. I feel like it was at Summer Game Fest and then maybe at the Game Awards as well, if I'm not mistaken. But I still don't really understand what the game is. It looks nice. Like the animation style looks very
hmm
interesting. Do you have anything else you wanted to say about it?
Not really until I really know like what it is. It's kind of just, there. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah. We just
know.
got the confirmation it's in development for PlayStation. So
Yeah, which several of the things on this were.
yeah,
So this was the
exactly.
first one that it said that for, yeah.
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 Something that not isn't just this nebulous kind of game. Foam Stars, right around the
Yay.
corner, just like Helldivers 2, coming out on February 6th. Square Enix wants to remind you this game is not Splatoon. It's more than Splatoon. We just got a little bit more of a look at the game, different modes, different environments, different maps, and stuff like that. This game looks wild. Dave, do you have any interest in playing Foam Stars?
I will give it a shot because it's going to be on Plus and because I'm currently paying for
Yep.
Plus. But unless it really blows me away, it doesn't look like something that's going to hook me past when my Plus expires and I'll have to pay the new upgraded price for it. So
Yeah.
that's
I'm
it,
kind of with
I
you.
don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to try it out just because it is a perk on PlayStation Plus. If you have a subscription, you can install it, and why not? But this will. I'm not even a Splatoon person, to be totally honest. I've never really dove too deeply into that series. But that being said, if a friend or group of friends were like, "Hey, do you want to join us for? We need a fourth or whatever for Foam Stars," I'd be like, "Sure." But
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I'd be itching to get into it myself. I'd like to be sold on the game. It looks nice. It definitely has like a very cool color palette. It's got like the
hmm
soft like pinks and mint colors. I like that
Yep.
stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, outside of that, it's never been like high on my radar. But I'm willing to give it a shot when it comes out.
Yeah, no question that it's going to be something that's like interesting. But I don't know if it's enough to hook me. I'm looking up something that it reminds me of in the meantime.
Yeah,
What is it? Oh, Knockout City.
Knockout City. Yes,
So
exactly.
I have a distinct feeling that unless this is doing something I mean, Knockout City was a dodgeball game. It was teams of 3, I believe, maybe 4.
Sounds
I
right.
thought it was a great game. I thought it was really fun. But one of those ones that, similar like we were saying with Helldivers, and definitely for this game, you're gonna need people to continue playing it for it to really like latch on and for them to
Yep.
continue building content for it and everything. I think Knockout City had that for a while, for a solid like 6 to 8 months or something, but that's not enough to keep a game going. This feels like that kind of thing. It's doing something flashy and different with a genre or type of play that we've seen before, but you know, there's aspects of it that are new.
Hmm.
Um, maybe there's enough to keep people going. I don't know.
Yep.
But I'll try it. It's just not high up on my list. That's all.
That's fair. And you bring up
Yeah.
a great point. I think this game's survival will honestly lean on the shoulders of more so the community than it does Square Enix. I think Square, for all intents and purposes, I'm hopeful that they come out and say, hey, we're willing to support this with, you know, new maps and skins and content and this and that, new modes. But I do think that the longevity and whether or not this game survives a year, 2 years, will ultimately fall on the weight of the community. So hopefully the game's good enough and it speaks to a large community base that, you know, they come out swinging. I think also having that free month like of eligible PlayStation Plus subscribers, go in, install it, give it a shot. That's very smart. Hey, it worked for Rocket League. That was an amazing boon for that game. So
That's what really pushed that game into the stratosphere,
exactly.
or at least began that climb, at least. Yeah.
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 So, but a game can only hold itself up, you know, with its gameplay and
Yep.
sustain itself. So
Yep.
we'll see how it goes. Only a week away.
Yeah. Right.
Next up, Dave the Divers coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 with Godzilla content, which I'm here for.
It's interesting, very very interesting. I mean, they had the Dredge tie-in a little while ago, which was fun. I
Yep.
dove back in to try dove back in to try and try that out. That was fun. I still prefer just Dredge in Dredge, but I don't know what they're doing with. I don't know how this is going to work, but it said, like it says in the trailer, something is coming. What that is, I don't know. It's probably just going to be some sort of like, they're going to have like a story beat that
Yeah.
involves Godzilla and stuff. But you know what? Hey, Dave the Diver is wild in a lot of ways. Why not add giant monsters to it? Sure,
Sure.
go for it.
I'm in for it.
And it's free, so
Exactly. And above all that, I just love the character model for Godzilla that we see in the trailer.
yeah,
I
it's
think it's
cool.
a
Yeah,
sick take on the character.
yeah.
So they got that going
It
for
looks
them.
a little bit like it's from the Godzilla -1
Yes.
build. I don't know. I still haven't seen that movie, but I've seen screenshots. I'm like, oh, it kind of
Right.
looks like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, no, it's cool. That's cool.
Yep.
Bobby, are you all in for Godzilla? Bobby's here. Hi, Bobby.
I'm always ready for Godzilla. It doesn't matter where he is, what he's doing. He's a
There
hero
he
in my
is.
books. He's a hero.
Her little boy, yeah.
Little
It's
boy. He's
well,
Yeah, a little man.
Steve's
a little
huge.
man.
So...
Little man. Little man is better. I like that.
Steve is
Okay,
huge.
we'll go with little
Godzilla
man.
is nothing.
Godzilla is the king of the monsters, so give him every game.
It's true.
He is Godzilla is having a 12 months, that's for sure.
Oh my God,
That's
is
for
he
damn
ever?
sure. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
One great calendar year for that guy, and
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Next up, we've got V Rising coming to PlayStation 5. This game has never been on my radar before. I saw this and I was like, hold up, this game rocks. And I definitely need to check this out. It's got some survival elements, some base building elements, but it's also got the vibe of Diablo. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I played several hours of this game with friends. I have a copy of it
Okay.
for PC pre-release. It was probably was it a year? Was it a year ago? Maybe it was just under a year ago that we were playing it, like last spring, maybe.
Okay.
And I think the gameplay is fun. The idea of it is fun. The mechanics are fun. It's deep. There's lots you can build. It's the problem with this type of survival game for me, and I can't remember if I've talked about it on the show or not, but if you don't check in after a couple days, all your stuff just breaks down, or people rate it,
Ah,
or that's the problem with it. And like I think that idea is okay, but there would be times where we'd play for a night and we'd play for several hours and we'd build stuff up. Be like, oh, this is fun. We hunted someone down. This is great. This is cool. And it's like, okay, we'll play next Friday. Great. See you then. We get back, everything's trashed. Whether it's
oh no.
because you need to like have like I can't remember what the sort of stuff is you need to build your stuff up with.
Sure.
I think it's based around blood and stuff like that, but like you need to put that into your base so that it can continue to live essentially. And if
Yeah.
you don't keep that up, the stuff just topples down and it literally just breaks down into rubble. And I'm like, oh, man. Now, maybe you can change that setting in servers and maybe you can make it so that doesn't happen. The one that
Right.
we played, which was from what I remember, pretty basic setup. Again, also pre 1.0 release.
Okay.
It was a huge pain in the ass, and one of the reasons why we stopped playing was because we just couldn't continue going day after day after day, right? So hopefully that's something you can change. If you could, I would continue playing this game because it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. From the sounds of it, I'm not down with any kind of mechanic like that. But if there's a custom server setting where you can just toggle that off,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be willing to give it a shot. But yeah, any kind of real world element like that that sucks the fun, pun intended,
Yeah.
out of it for me.
Yeah.
It's half the reason I refuse to go back to my Animal Crossing village is because I just don't want the looks from my villagers of like, you left us in shambles, man. Look at all this grass everywhere. Like, yeah, and if it's gonna be even worse, like buildings collapse and stuff like that, I'm not
Yeah,
about
I
that.
remember showing up like a week later and stuff was literally it just wasn't there. I was like, "Wait, am I in the wrong part of the map here or something?" Like,
Mhm.
well, I don't get it. Like I can't even spawn in the same place I was supposed to, and there's a lot of elements and layers to V Rising that are really cool, but
Yeah.
that's the part that turned us off. So, we'll see. I'm willing to look into it again. I still have the PC. Obviously, I have the PC version, so
Sure.
I should give it another look. But yeah, V Rising's pretty cool.
Yeah. Bobby, any thoughts on V Rising?
I thought it was Castlevania. It literally looked like Castlevania. Whatever it is, like a what's that style of game? I don't even know anymore. It's like
Like isometric
twin stick shooter
survival.
kind of thing.
Yeah, it is a little bit twin stick. Yeah, I can't remember if it actually
It looked like I thought it was
is. Yeah.
Castlevania until it said V Rising. I was like, well, that's conspicuous because I mean, I literally thought it was Alucard and like
It-
there was
It
Princess
looks,
Dracula.
yeah, it looks like Alucard for sure.
So I mean, I'll play it. I mean, it looks pretty cool. I mean, short experiences are king these days. So like, if it's like a 10-hour game, I'm in.
it's
That
not.
pretty much.
It is the opposite of that.
Oh God,
Yeah,
I can't
it's
have
like
a longer game.
yeah, no, it's like you get a group of people together, you get your character, and you dedicate yourself to playing this game, or at least making it one of the games that you're dedicated to. So
I don't
that
have that kind of time anymore.
I know
Like,
that it's part of the problem. That's part of the problem. That's why we bounced off it too. Yeah. Yeah.
especially when you got a game like Silent Hill, a short message available now. Shadow drop action here coming
Mm.
from Konami. Yeah, this very
That
much
was a
is
PT
inspired
that was a
by.
PT slip right there. You slipped
Yeah,
on PT. I don't blame you.
no, I did for very good reason. This game looks like it's just PT the sequel or PT fully realized.
Right.
Well,
There are distinct inspirations being taken here.
which makes no sense because legitimately they could have had PT out 10 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, and they should have. Yeah, is anyone going to go download this? Check it out tonight?
I actually just got the notification that it's ready to play. So I'm
Is it
gonna-
really? I've been waiting to check it or to install it on my app.
Oh, get
Okay.
your
Oh, yeah.
get your
It's fine.
internet
It's
sped up
notification.
there, Steve. Let's go. Come on.
know.
Let's
I know,
let's
let's go.
let's go. Come on. Let's get
Yep,
this show over with.
As soon as we get off this podcast, I'm jumping on to play because like I was like, well,
I
that's probably like a 2 or 3 hour game, perfect for today.
Yeah,
I like the
that's what
fact
I'm
that
looking
it's
for.
yeah, I like the fact that it's short. I just don't like the fact that I need to be in the mood to poop my pants to play this, and I don't think
Well,
that I'm in the mood for that just yet.
let's bridge that in right now because apparently your biggest problem with Alan Wake, they
Yes.
actually patched it today. So there you go.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah.
The flashing images, yeah, they you can dial them down. So they have like a baby mode. So it's like if you're a baby, you play it at the baby level. So it's there. It's available today. I played it completion as it's intended, as Sam Lake intended. So there you go.
As
Right
I
there
d-
with you.
a-
Hardcore
Yeah,
gamer right here.
as did
yeah.
I, but I
True
just
gamer. Like I said, I don't trust people who don't play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth to completion, and
That's
that's
right.
another thing.
Remake I did. Rebirth I will not.
Well,
um
that ties into this.
fair enough. It's so yeah, I am. Oh, there it goes. Nice, Steve. There you go.
Downloading. It's downloading.
Downloading.
We're gaming now, baby.
We're gaming.
Right.
I'm interested because it looks very cool, but and it is obviously free and available right now, which is interesting. So but then there's the remake of 2.
That's right.
What do you guys think? You guys have any experience with 2?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
And
Okay.
I played it. I played the
Yeah.
original, but well, it was like what 20 years ago. Yeah, so like,
yeah, has to
I
be.
remember playing I think both the first and the second on the original Xbox. So yeah, roughly 20 years ago. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the biggest Silent Hill fan. I'll play it, but it looks cool. Definitely looks cool. I mean, big step up from what it looked like 20 years ago. So like, I'm looking forward to it. Let's just see how it turns out because it's a Konami game and
Was Bloober Team.
it's Bloober Team, but it's a Konami thing. So it's like their name kind of attached to it. So it's kind of like, well,
Yeah.
they haven't had a good streak recently. So like, despite giving it to Bloober Team, it could go either way. It could just be another middling remake, or it could be the best damn thing since Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So
CTC is pretty good.
Who needs bread
am-
when you have that?
I am kind of with you there where Bloober Team has a very spotty record. I think in terms of their take on atmospheric horror, without a doubt, they nail it tenfold.
Yeah.
Like every single one of their games. They know atmosphere, they know how to build tension. I'm just very skeptical here
execution.
about the combat. We're watching, the video now, and just some of the combat, some of the hit markers and stuff like that. None of that is like a Call of Duty game, but like just the impact of some of the hits with the bat or whatever, and the shotgun. It just feels like there's nothing there. Like you're hitting like a pillow almost. Like there's no impact or like oomph, like satisfying oomph to it.
Mhm.
Which is understandable. Bloober Team not known for combat in their games. They're a very like passive developer. They don't really incorporate a lot of like frenetic combat in their games. So their take on Silent Hill is definitely going to be interesting. And I will say this: the one thing I am excited for, and we saw it in the trailer as well, puzzles. I love the Silent Hill puzzles.
Mm.
That day and age of like the survival horror genre. Same with Resident Evil. Just picking up an item, trying to figure out where does this belong, backtrack and stuff like that. I love that shit. So if they can retain that kind of magic and spirit in this remake, I'm down for that. But I'm optimistic, but still skeptical.
That's exactly how
yeah.
I feel. So yeah, I mean, could go either way. So I mean, in terms of horror games, it wasn't the biggest announcement for me. Like there are a few more that stand out more to me. I know
Sure.
those are probably what I'm looking forward to, like Silent Hill. Like I said, go either way. Excited, but yeah, we'll see.
Next up, we had Judas, which is coming from Ken Levine, his new studio. This game again, TBD. No one knows when it's coming out, but we got a nice look at the game again. It's been quite a while since the last time we had a check-in with this game. Essentially, there was a PlayStation blog post that I think is worth bringing up here. The game is set in space on the essentially a spaceship called the Mayflower, and really what the game takes place is that you're living with this colony, and they're essentially trying to make everyone the model citizen. So they would just want you to kind of fit in, conform to the archetype of living there and everything. But you, as the main character, are kind of trying to break the mold, break the chains up there, which is very in line with anything Ken Levine kind of touches. So even from the gameplay, it looks like a BioShock game. I'm not disappointed by that. I think that kind of style of game has long been sorely missed. So to kind of see it back in action, I like what I saw today. How about you guys?
Yep, 100%. It looks like another BioShock game. So like that's kind of Ken's thing, which, you know what, I'm not gonna knock. I love Bioshock, so if it is basically a spiritual sequel, so be it. I mean, I like the Mayflower idea. It's a spacefaring ship that you basically fight to survive on, so that's
Yeah.
cool. I like the fact that you're Judas, so basically you can't be trusted, and people are probably going to be coming after you the entire time. Uh, we saw a little bit of the powers. There's a couple of
Mhm.
screenshots that I posted, and it looks pretty cool. So I mean, overall, like I'm pretty impressed. We kind of know what we're gonna get with this game, I think. So it really just comes to the narrative. Is it going to be as good as, like, say, Bioshock Infinite, or is it going to be like a dud? So really, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. If it comes out this year, great, because like it would be a perfect game to launch in October, just to kind of end the year with like
Yeah.
Judas.
Yeah,
Hmm.
interesting. I mean, they don't give any kind of release window, even a year. They just say it's in development now. So we'll see. This could be even a 2026 game for all we know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Um,
I
but
wonder if
I
these
do.
like in development for PS5 things. I mean, that doesn't mean that it's exclusive, obviously, as far as I know, but that just
It
means
probably
like,
won't be.
yeah, it just means to me that reads like, oh, this is a game that's coming out for PlayStation. That's
Basically,
and that's fine. That's fine.
basically, like two, maybe three-quarters of the games revealed today are probably coming to all consoles, but
That's what it seems like. Yeah. That-
it's first dibs from PlayStation. Like, I mean,
right. Right.
I have all the press releases. I think there's only one or two games that are exclusive to
Exclusive. Yeah.
PlayStation. Like,
Right.
so yeah, these are probably multi-platform. I wouldn't expect any differently.
Yeah, this looks really
Yeah.
cool to me. I like how, I mean, similar to with how BioShock was, especially even with the first one when it first came out. Like your powers are interesting and everything, but like who you're fighting and who you're trying to take down and like battle your way through and stuff, it was interesting too. It's not just that you have powers and you can have a gun in one hand and powers in the other. It's not just that mechanic. It's just the world around it. So I think you're right, Bobby. I think as long as like the world and the story around it is interesting enough and well told enough, I think everything else will fit into place nicely because
Like,
of who's behind it.
that's all it comes down to.
Yeah,
Is exactly that.
yeah.
And
I'm down. I'm down.
I just I'm curious why we haven't seen the actual third BioShock game. That's kind of where I'm at
Or
right now. Because
fourth
like this
technically,
game,
but yeah,
yeah, or the fourth, technically the fourth, yeah.
yeah,
But like this game just Judas is like now in the spotlight. So
yeah.
like take 2K, like this is your time to be like, well, we also have a BioShock game coming out, and here it is. So like really, I'm kind of hoping that we see that soon, because to steal the thunder from Judas right now, you like probably like the best move 2K could do right now.
Oof.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how those releases line up. If they're even able to kind of get in the same year, even that would be very interesting.
Mm.
I mean,
Whoever comes out first definitely has the advantage, right?
that's exactly it. But then it's also the issues, like whoever comes out first, it could be a dead, which could probably ruin the other one.
Well,
So I
that
mean,
Fair
reminds me
enough.
of
because that's what happened with
probably
Dead Space and the other game
that
last year.
Callisto
Can't remember.
Protocol.
Callisto Protocol.
I was just gonna say
Yeah, like that one
That's
came
what it
out and
reminds me
like
of. Yeah,
then Dead Space came and ate its lunch.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fair.
But it also burned people because like, well, they're kind of the same, so they're probably gonna be the same. And I know a couple people who skip Dead Space because of the Callisto Protocol. So,
Terrible idea. Terrible idea.
oh,
Excellent.
exactly. I agree with
Excellent
you.
game.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall looking cool. I
Yeah.
really want to see more of it. Like that's probably the third game in my list of things revealed today. So like,
Yeah, it
pretty
looks
high up
great.
there.
Yeah.
Guys, we finally have an excuse to put on the PlayStation VR 2, baby. We've got a Metro VR game, Metro Awakening, coming out sometime this year. Very exciting stuff. We're almost on the 1-year anniversary of the PlayStation VR 2, and
Mm.
now we're finally getting some actual what feels like a AAA experience. It's set, obviously in the Metro universe. This is a prequel to the trilogy that we already have out. I'm digging this. What an interesting IP to kind of adapt for VR.
It's cool.
It makes perfect sense too,
Yeah.
because like playing any of the Metro games, like you're very claustrophobic. Like you're
Yep.
always dealing with either radiation or like monsters or tunnels. So like putting that into a VR space, like yeah, give it to me. Like I do want to play this game. I love the Metro games, so I really hope it turns out well. And I think Vertical Games is developing it, so I trust them.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a big hit for PlayStation VR too. But this feels like they need to do more than just give us a couple games, because the couple games we did see are cool, but where's like the console seller? Like, where's this peripheral seller? Like, I want to know what's going to happen.
I mean, yeah, that's a whole other issue to
Yeah.
unpack. One of the things that I really love about this trailer, and you can kind of already imagine it, is you see like a brief shot of the radiation watch, and I just
Mhm.
love the idea of using that as kind of like your quote unquote hood, or like when you're traveling and navigating the tunnels and everything. And be like, ooh, how much time do I have to before I have to, exchange the filter in my mask and stuff like that? How can I survive? I love that aspect of minimizing the on-screen busyness and just comprising it into like something that's on your arm that you can just keep referencing. It's almost like a Dead Space thing, but in VR.
Yeah.
It's just a small little touch that I'm like, you guys are smart. You guys thought of it all.
It sounds small, but I think that's a difference maker. I think that's a
Yep.
reason. That's one of the reasons to make a game like this, is because you can do stuff like that. I think that's great.
Yep. Another PSVR 2 game coming out is Legendary Tales. Boys, have you ever wanted to just drop kick a skeleton right into a table, or use a skeleton to beat up another skeleton?
Yep. I think about
Sure.
it every
Yeah.
day.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yep.
Every day.
because
Every day.
that's how they're selling me.
Every
That's how
day.
they're selling me on this game, where I was like, I'm not really sure about the graphical fidelity of this game, especially when compared to Metro Awakening.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do think that there's something inherently fun and goofy about this game,
Yeah.
where there's a lot to it. I think that just based on the simple mechanics, like the combat mechanics, there seems to be a lot here where you can parry, you can swap weapons. There's some RPG elements. It's a multiplayer game as well. I think at first blush it looks very surface level, but then you start watching the trailer more and more, seeing the gameplay. I went through like a 180 through this entire video.
Yeah. So just a little bit of background. It's
Hmm.
on Steam right now.
Yeah.
It's $71 as an early access title. So I
Whoa.
mean, take what you think of that, like take however you want to feel, but it feels like this is something in progress. So I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
I think it looks cool, but it definitely feels like a PS3 game, a 360 game, just put in VR. So
It does. But
I'm
then
not
they
against that. I'm not against that. I actually think it's a great way to bring people in, because like that time frame was like the wild west of video games for a little bit. So
Yeah.
more of that. I am down to throw skeletons into traps and bury the dead and whatever you're doing in this game, because there's some crazy stuff you're doing in this game. So yeah, I'm all for it.
So it looks like a fun sandbox type of thing in
Yep.
closed areas. That's cool. That's fun.
Two other major points here. You can throw a shield like Captain America, and you can call down lightning with Mjolnir.
Yes.
With Thor's hammer.
Yes.
And those two moments, I'm like, you sold me. You're doing what Marvel will not do. We've already got the Iron Man game. Now you're giving us Captain America and Thor?
Boom.
Yeah,
And skeletons with tables?
And skeleton tables? Come on.
Let's be fair. There was a Marvel Avengers game.
Yeah, but
Not in VR.
not like this.
Not in VR. I mean,
No, not in VR. Well,
Medieval-
Asgard's Wrath too. You can kind of throw a hammer with your electric, your lightning.
Medieval Avengers, man. There you go. That's what this is.
Ooh,
That would be a good game.
that's a good
That
one.
would be
F.
cool.
Crap out of
Take them
that.
back in time.
Now, just before we leap off of Legendary Tales, I'm a little confused about the release. It says February 8th, 2024 in the video. PlayStation Blog says later this year. Now, I know technically that is like February is later in this year, but I wonder if that's just, I'm confused. So maybe it comes out next week. Who knows? Maybe it doesn't.
We'll see. Dust off the headset and check on
Yeah.
February 8th.
That's right.
The blog says February 8th as well.
Did they update it?
Yep.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe it was.
They
it
must have just updated
Just
it,
did
because
it.
like the head title says
Yeah, they did.
Legendary Tales
Okay.
lets you forge your RPG destiny on PSVR 2
Yeah.
February 8th. So I think they probably just placeholdered it.
Okay.
But you know what? That's like 2 weeks away. I'm down. If I can get a copy
play
of this
it.
game to play it, I want it, because it just looks like stupid fun.
looks like
Yeah.
good goofy fun. Yeah.
Dave, how's your progress doing in Dragon's Dogma? Because we got another look at Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah, man. Oh my God. This makes me want to keep playing it and also want to just play this game instead at the same time.
Right.
If that makes sense. My progress is not bad. Now I have lots of stuff that I'm playing, but over the course of parts of December and January, I put, I mean, this is nothing in such a big game, but I think I put 10 to 12 hours into it.
Wow.
Yeah, I like it, man. It's fun. It's fun. I don't know how much deeper it gets past that. I'm sure it does, but it also does feel a little bit dated because it's like 14 years old or whatever it is. So, you know, there's things you have to sort of just accept because that's just how the games are made then.
Yep.
But this looks pretty cool, and it definitely, now that I've played the original or enough of the original, or at least what I feel is enough of the original, definitely looks like they have expanded their ideas and what they can do, obviously based on the technology and everything, right? So yes, it looks better, but just the gameplay, or at least what they're showing us of what the gameplay could be, looks far more, not interesting is not the right word, but more dynamic, more impactful. You know, like you were talking about, what were we just saying about one of the games that, the Silent Hill remake feels like, oh, you're whacking a pillow or whatever.
Yeah.
So unless you're climbing the giant beast in the original Dragon's Dogma, it does kind of feel like that's what you're doing when you're flinging your arrows or when you're swinging your sword and stuff like that. This does not look like that. So I think that's going to make a big difference with how the combat feels. And yeah, I'm excited now. Now I'm more excited because before I was just like, what is this game? And do I really care? I definitely care more now. I'll tell you that. Yep.
It looks rough.
Rough.
It looks pretty rough.
Oh.
Yeah, like the frame rate's a mess.
Oh, well, okay, sure. But
that's a big thing for this game because, like, I mean, 60 frames makes a big difference in a game like this.
yeah.
But I'm hearing it's targeting 30 frames, and like that's like the baseline, which I mean, I don't think that should be happening in 2024. Like they should be able to get a steady 60 frames and deliver on that. But I mean, what are you supposed to do? I mean, other than that, like I do like it. I'm Dragon's Dogma 2, like really, this is a game a decade in the making. So fully on board. I think it looks like a worthy successor to Dragon's Dogma. That's basically it. I just want to play it. At this point, I just want to play it and see what the hell's going on and see if it holds up to what I remember Dragon's Dogma being.
It looks like a good big game. We'll see what, like you said. You know what? That's true. Frame rate does matter. I can see that, but I think this will have a lot of people excited. I thought it looked pretty cool, but that's because I'm also comparing it to a game that was 13 years old or however long it's been. So it's it's a little bit different.
Well, we won't have long to wait. That game comes out March 22nd.
Yep.
And now we're going to follow it up with another game that's coming out the exact same day. Same day, Rise of the Ronin. And yeah, this is our second big, deep dive from the state of play. We got a lot of new footage from this game, a lot of story elements, a lot of the combat, the open world exploration here, the verticality of some of the systems. I'm sold on this game. I don't know about you guys. I really love this kind of take between, it's almost like a mix between Ghost of Tsushima, Sekiro, and Nioh. And
basically, so yeah. No, I'm sold. Like from the title, the first reveal, I was like, yeah, Team Ninja, I'm in. That's all I need to know. And yeah, the trailer looks great. I mean, combat looks a little floaty, but I'll take it. I'm sure they'll may fix that.
Sure,
but
I see that.
I think it looks stunning. Like I really hope that it ends up being like a new franchise for them because like I want more of these games in feudal Japan. Just you being a Ronin, just messing things up. Give me more of that.
I'm mixed on what they showed on this one. On today's look anyway. I think the combat is part of it. It doesn't look like anything. It's not that it looks bad, but it looks like something I've played before. As far as what the combat goes, it's like, yeah, we see the guy sneaking around. Okay, pull someone down. But I feel like maybe I didn't have a samurai sword, but I feel like I did that in the Horizon games. You know what I mean? Like things like that. And then I got to fight giant dinosaur robots, which is even
Right.
cooler to me. So I don't know. I know it's not quite that. I'm just using that game as like a brief PlayStation example, but it looks. I mean, it looks like it could be really cool, and there are some pretty cool like aspects of moving around, like you said, the verticality, and then all of a sudden you're floating, gliding through the air, and then on your horse, and like there's ideas here that are really cool, and it's not just hey, you have your sword and that's it. There's a whole bunch of other weapons and all these types of things. So um, it could be really cool. I just hope that the melee combat or the hand to hand combat feels more dynamic than what I'm seeing at least. But I could be way off and it could be amazing. So yeah.
That's what a guy who's never played Neo or um, anything Team Ninja has played says, guys. That's just like a perfect example. So we're gonna shame him for what he said because that's clearly not true.
I'm not saying
Wow.
that those games don't have it. I just don't know if this one does yet.
No, fair enough.
That's all.
Fair enough. But
That's
you know,
all. Yeah.
like I said, it does look a little bit floaty. So I mean, if they can figure that out by launch, like I think it'll be a really good game.
Yeah, and there's definitely cool parts of the combat. Like it's like this sort of like small like mini finishing moves almost in a way, or like where you have similar to what Prince of Persia had, where you block at certain times or you do a move at certain times, and it cuts to
Right.
like a different angle, and he does slices the guy down or puts them on the ground and aims the gun at them or whatever. That stuff's cool. I like that kind of stuff. Definitely adds to combat and makes it feel more punchy and more dynamic. I'm all for that kind of aspects, and that looks like there's lots of opportunities to do that, which is great.
Yeah.
Yep. And as we start to near the end of this state of play, we got Until Dawn remaster on the horizon is coming out later in 2024. All it says is that it's rebuilt. It's one of the
Right.
PlayStation iconic horror games. Definitely one of the best from Supermassive, and kind of put a name on the studio that they've kind of tried to continually reach
Yeah.
for over and over again. Yeah, thoughts here?
Yeah. Love it. Until Dawn was incredible. I still think about this game. What, a decade later?
Yeah.
I'm gonna replay it as soon as this game is in our hands. Like I want to play it. I want to talk about it because like it did some really cool things, and there's a really cool cast, right? Like you got a really
Mhm.
all-star cast, great story. I think it's obviously nothing to write home, but like it unfolds in a really interactive way, and that's kind of what's always stuck with me. It's just like it was really well tuned to being a game. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Dave,
fully
have
on.
you played the
I have
original?
not. I have not played this game. I am down to try a remake or rebuilt version of it. Like, I mean, I don't think that Dead Space and RE4 are really like horror games to me, but
Sure.
there's scary aspects of them. But this and Silent Hill and the one that you guys have now downloaded of Silent Hill, like those are that's like more straight up horror. That's
Mhm.
different, and I don't mind that in movie form. I just don't know if they're my thing in game form. And Alan Wake kind of toes that line, depending on Alan Wake 2, depending on some of the elements and certain set pieces in the game. But
Yep.
I'm interested. I'm just not sold because I don't know if it's for me. That's all.
I mean, you can't go wrong. I believe it's free on PlayStation Plus, so I mean,
Yeah, the original one. Yeah,
wouldn't hurt to try it. Like it still holds
yeah,
up. It's just it's not. It's probably just not going to look as pretty, but I mean,
that's okay.
it's a really good game. It's not in your face horror. It's more supernatural and stuff like that. Like it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does hold up exceptionally well. I think that's for me where this announcement kind of falls a little flat. Where the game still looks good. Uh, I know obviously you can improve some of the visuals and character models and stuff like that, which I found odd that they didn't really lean into in this trailer. Where it's like, oh, let's see the difference in the characters' faces. We get little glimpses here and there, but to me, this announcement felt more like, hey, we just announced that we're doing the movie, and now we're bringing a new version of this to the console. And other than that, if Until Dawn is, if you haven't played it, definitely this is the version to play it. I just don't know if I'm itching to really run back to it straight away. I
Yeah.
haven't seen all that much to be like, oh my god, this game looks amazing. It runs at 60 or unlocked frames and whatnot, and like all the ray tracing and stuff like that. I just need to see more about the enhancements before I dive
Yeah,
in.
which is fair. I mean,
Yep.
that's kind of well. I just want to see what they're gonna do with it. Is it going to be a one for one remake? Are you gonna expand upon it? So I mean, really, just that's what it comes down to. I assume it's gonna be one for one, so that's fine.
Yep.
Personally, I think they should make it a VR mode. Put it
That
in
would be
VR.
very cool.
Just that's how you bring people back. Hey, we're bringing back Until Dawn, but there's also a VR mode, just kind of like the Resident Evil 4, whatever it is. Like it's literally just VR mode, like 3 or 4 months down the road. Like I would
Yeah,
love that. I would
that
have
would be
played this in
very
a
cool.
heartbeat in VR.
Yeah. Topping off the state of play is the dude himself, Hideo Kojima, coming out with an extensive look at Death Stranding 2 titled On the Beach,
Yeah.
which is just an amazing name. Let's just start with that. That is an awesome, awesome name. I can't lie. I don't know a thing that's happening in this trailer. I need to pore over this trailer over and over again. Obviously, we see familiar faces being, Sam Porter Bridges. We see Fragile, who's not so fragile. We see little puppet man, little puppet dude,
Little,
little
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 Pinocchio.
puppet Del Toro. And of course, Troy Baker's back in what is honestly the coolest character model, I think, in video game history. I would argue
Whoa.
that
He, he's playing the Joker.
yeah, uh, very
Gotta be,
well, I,
right?
I might
Yeah.
add. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's taking everything that he took from Arkham Origins and just, oh my goodness, yeah,
Running with it.
he's
He's
running
got
with it.
creative freedom in this. He's like, just do what you want.
Yeah,
Yeah, do what you
um,
want. Yeah.
I I don't know, like there's not much we can really expound on in terms of the story beats and everything.
I mean, does anybody know what the story is? Like, we
No,
have a 9.5 minute trailer. I mean, at this point, he could have probably
got
put
the
the
baby.
story in chronological order in the trailer, and it still would have made sense. So, like, really, this game is just so absurd. Like, I wonder what he's taking to make this game, because like whatever it is, it needs to be legalized and sent to everybody's house.
I want it. I want the Kojima drugs. I want the
I want
Kojima
them all.
drugs right now.
Is it going to be called Kojima or is it just branded Kojima? Because, like,
They
Oh,
should
it's
just
got
call it
Kojima
Koji Pro.
production. Oh, Koji Pro, yeah. Um, no, but going back to it, the things that really stood out to me was this is PlayStation's next, very great and crafted, like flex of the Decima engine.
Man, the Decima engine
Putting in the
is
work,
insane. Like, there is no
wild.
Unreal Engine might be like the obviously the biggest competitor, but I
Yeah.
think Decima looks better.
It
It
looks
looks
awesome. It
infinitely
looks
better.
so good. Yeah.
Absolutely. And my big worry coming into Death Stranding 2 was kind of analyzing what the current state of PlayStation Studios and their games are in terms of its sequel and the sequelization of known quantities. Whether you look at, God of War Valhalla and Marvel Spider-Man 2, great games, don't get me wrong, but they do build off similar environments, similar settings. It's basically here, we're just going to add new systems, new story in pre-existing areas. Coming into Death Stranding, I was like, well, I don't want to just cross the United States again delivering packages. What is going to be the crux, the hook that really brings me in here? And from the trailer, they got rid of all my worries here, where it's like, oh, you're not relegated to the U.S. anymore. This is like a cross continental, cross like global
You're
story
going to
here.
the moon, man.
Yeah.
You're going everywhere, and
So like, yeah, like
there's
that's all you
deserts,
want.
mountains. There's a shot, yeah, the shot where he's standing in front of the moon. It just gives way to so many new gameplay systems. You see like new vehicles and new traversal elements. I'm I'm blown away by this, and this
There's a
isn't
lot
just
more.
me.
Yeah,
This
there's a
isn't
lot
just
more.
me as like a Kojima stan. This is like I'm legitimately impressed by what I see here.
100%, and the combat systems looks like it's been improved. I mean, you're getting a lot more action this time, which I feel like that was probably my biggest issue, was there was just very limited, and whatever was there was just like a means to an end just to get to the next checkpoint or whatever. So like, I'm
Right.
glad they're working on that, and we even talked about the ninja that was in that trailer because that thing blew my mind. Whoever it is, I want to be able to play as them because if Norman is Metal Gear Solid Snake, then whoever this ninja is, he's definitely Raiden.
Raiden, exactly. Yes.
So if we're playing as Raiden Jr., I want to play as Raiden Jr. Give me a game where I'm playing as that samurai because he looks freaking cool. That's all I want. I want to play as that character. Give it to me.
Yeah. I'm just enamored. Dave,
I know. You know
you were
what?
gonna
It
say
took
something?
this trailer reveal to kind of like reinvigorate my love for Death Stranding, but man, that was a good game. There is no other game like that in this
No.
industry, and I'm glad it exists. I'm glad it's getting a sequel. If there is one game that deserves a sequel, it's this game because it's just unlike anything else out there, and that's kind of like the only rarity in this. Is it's just so original. It's incredible.
Yeah, the originality of it and everything is very Kojima, obviously. And the lack of understanding of the story is very Kojima as well. The first one I gave up on after a few hours because I was like, I don't,
Okay.
this isn't working for like, what is this? I'm not having like it was not exciting to me at all. And part of it was like, yeah, the story. I don't know what the fuck is happening. So what's hooking me at the moment? This though, I mean, I hope I don't need to know the entire story. Maybe I can just finish playing it, or maybe I'll just, watch some, updates about it and understand the story on some YouTube videos or something like that, or just get you guys to tell me what happens. But this looks much more interesting than the first one, by far. And it's not just the characters that are in it. It's not just the cinematic that was awesome, especially towards the end here, but the gameplay does look better. I mean, like you guys said, there's just the vehicles, some traversal stuff. The combat actually looks like would be something I would enjoy. And I'm not just running around with a bunch of stuff on my back, which essentially is all that I felt the first one was, or at least in my limited experience. It looks cool. It looks cool, and it looks more my thing than the first one was. But I'm not going to go and be like, yeah, I'm sold 100% in because I wasn't on the first one. So I don't know. I'm very not sure. Although this guitar gun laser electric thing is so random, but I guess that's cool.
It is so sick.
It's so weird.
That move where he does like the Fallout Boy guitar spin into like a parry. I'm like, oh my god, Kojima just gets it,
You can't block a giant samurai sword with a guitar until you spin it around your back twice before you block it. Like otherwise it doesn't work, right? That's what gives you the power.
Can we talk about that puppet thing? What is that thing on his waist?
I have no idea. The only thing
I love it. I think it's okay. You know what? I'm gonna draw this comparison right now because it's probably gonna get out there. This is Norman's Mimir. That's exactly what it is.
Oh,
and there was that nod to it where he put him on his back and he was like, "Don't put me on your ass" or whatever. And it's like,
I love how he's animated though. I love how it's very like
frames.
The frame is very stop motion sort of frame.
Yeah.
I love that aspect. That was a very cool design choice. 100%.
I agree. And again, it's like inspired creative decisions that can only come from Kojima, who has this decision and there's no one there to be like, no, we're not doing that. That's too expensive to animate this one singular, not even character, this thing you're keeping on your hip. We gotta now down frame that, but keep everything. Like that's the thing. Like, oh my goodness, it's inspired, and it only can come from like an auteur like Kojima.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt about that. I agree. I just can't be sold on whatever's happening here because I was not sold on the original. But that's just
that is fair.
Is it worth sticking it out, or should I just figure out like listen and see what the story is? Like, is the gameplay really that good?
So I'll say this: a lot of people got like carried away with the weird rollout of the trailers where the trailers didn't do anything for the story. It didn't really expound on anything. It didn't really give us a good detailing of like what the story was going to be. I can confidently say that by the end of Death Stranding, that is one of the most like comprehensible stories from Kojima,
Mm.
and that's saying something.
Yeah.
Now that being said, if the gameplay doesn't speak to you, if the limited action and shooting mechanics is kind of like isn't really a sticking point to you, and traversing a sprawling post-apocalyptic USA and just delivering packages isn't speaking to you at the moment, I don't know if you can like withstand 30 to 40 hours of that just for the story alone.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, Death Stranding is one of my favorite games of this last generation. I thought it was brilliant. I loved the creative freedom that it kind of gave way to. But that being said, I know that it's not for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, his games in general are mostly hits for me, but some I'm just like, meh, that didn't work for me. It just is what it is, and that's fine. I am genuinely interested in this though, because like we've said, it looks great. I do think that the aspects that they did show in the gameplay from this extended look do look better and look like they would feel better for me to play it. Like I do think that I would enjoy the gameplay aspect of this even more than the original. So I am definitely intrigued. I'm definitely intrigued by this more than I thought I would be based on the previous looks that we've had at this game. This one had me more excited for it than I ever was previously, which is good. That's all part of what they're trying to do here too. So
Yep.
yeah.
Cool. And then
yeah.
wrapping up, Kojima came out to stand with Herman Hulst to
Yep.
kind of announce that he's working on yet another project. This one tying back to his roots. He's working on a espionage adventure game, kind of this transmedia venture in which he's working with Columbia Pictures as well,
Mhm.
to kind of bridge the gap between film and gaming, and then also obviously draw back to Metal Gear. He says it's going to be an original IP, so it's not like he's working with Konami or anything. Getting that out of the way, but yeah, kind of going back to what we all know and love about Kojima is espionage and that genre. Um,
What I hope this
see it
game
in
is
2030.
Yeah, see you guys when we're in retirement homes and
Yeah,
can't hold a
exactly.
controller anymore.
Yep.
What I hope this is just the first thing that came to mind for some stupid reason. I hope it's not going to be this, so don't worry, people. It's not that serious. I hope this is a game where you just play as a box, like I Am Bread or Octodad, and you just play as a box and you sneak around as a box, or you go and you go and go on top of people that are being espionage-ish and spies, but you are the box. You are not the person. That's what I hope it is. Then the transmedia part could be an animated movie based on Box. I am Box.
I am
I
box.
am Spy
love it.
Box.
Yeah. If anyone could do it, Kojima.
And
This
if
man.
anyone would, it would be him.
That's very true. Yep.
And find a way for it to be dynamic and fun. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he would incorporate some really weird shit in there. But Bobby, any thoughts on this project? This long, what's going to be a long-awaited project?
No, nothing yet. I mean, we don't know what it's gonna be.
no idea. Yeah. I think they're just trying to tell us like he's sticking around.
Like
He's
I know
sticking
he's
around.
coming back to his roots, but like
Yeah.
that could be anything at this point. Like, what is it gonna be? Another Snake? Like I don't know what he's planning, so it's like it's too early to tell. But like I mean, I think it's gonna be a multimedia thing, so we're gonna get like a game and a show.
Yeah.
Because that Columbia Pictures tease tells me it's gonna be a movie too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I feel like you don't do a Death Stranding movie and then call it quits after that. You know?
No, exactly. And then, well, it's just like I said, just like the way the teaser kind of panned out, and you see like the studio lot, and it's like, okay, multimedia project announced right there.
Yep.
That's what that is. So cool. I'm in for it. I mean,
Yep.
it's Kojima, so like really, whatever he does, like I will be there. Yeah, I'm cool.
I'm there for
Let's see what
weird and wacky
Kojima will-
stuff and original ideas. Like that always at least starts to get me interested. So that's always what he does. Could be worse.
That's his
That's for
MO.
sure. Yeah, that's his
Exactly.
MO. That is why he has done what he's done and been as successful and beloved as he has been, is because of that, or part of the reason why he's to that echelon at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then capping everything off, we just got a little stinger there saying that there's going to be a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth State of Play, just focusing on that game on February 6th, same day as Foam Stars comes out. So you get a little double whammy of PlayStation that day. Can you believe it, Bobby? We're a month
It's
away.
officially February 1st in Japan,
Yeah.
so we're in February.
We're a month away.
I have a Buster Sword on the way. I have the game pre-ordered. It is my month. It is the time to.
We will see you in April. Like,
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna be gone for a month at least, so like you probably won't see me. But yeah, I don't know. I'm expecting we're gonna see a bunch of stuff on Tuesday, and then I assume we're gonna get a demo, but I'm trying to consider a blackout at this point. Like I know that's gonna be tough, but we're a month away. Like really, I've seen what I need to see. I feel like whatever else they're gonna show is just gonna spoil
right.
the experience for me. So it's like, okay, I think I'm good. I'm topping out right now. But
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
You're literally sold on the game already. So
I mean, it's Final Fantasy VII. Like it can only do so many things, and like
Mhm.
I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever I'm ready for it. So there we go. February 6th.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play at 6:30 p.m. I'll probably stay off Twitter, but I'm weak.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I have no additional need to watch this. It's so close, like you said, that I feel like at this point, the only thing that they can show is stuff that I don't want to see.
Hmm.
So I'm okay. I'll probably go on blackout that day, kind of ignore the social aspect of the state of play and
exactly it.
just wait.
And
I can wait.
I can wait a month, but if there's a demo, like I'll download it. I will play the demo.
I'm going on blackout until I don't go on blackout.
I mean, I actually thought there's gonna be a demo today, just because today is the 27th anniversary of the game. But
Sure.
there you go, nothing came out. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm weak, guys. I'm super weak when it comes to Final Fantasy. So if it does come out, there's a good chance I'll probably play it. But like, you have to hold me accountable. So just
We'll take care of you though. We'll take care of you. Don't
yeah,
worry.
that's all
We
I
got
can
you.
ask, 'cause,
We
like,
got your back, man. We got your back.
Man, I'm weak. Weak.
Well, it's good that they're doing something separate. I think that a game like that also kind of deserves it, even if it isn't 100% necessary for some people. But it's good that they said that, because I think otherwise it'd be like, where's Final Fantasy? And then, all this kind of shit they'd have to deal with. So they covered that aspect. We'll see it in a couple days, and then we're not far off from release. So there we go. That takes us through for the next couple months at least for PlayStation. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. As we wrap everything up, Bobby, we have a comprehensive list of everything shown at the State of Play on Console Creatures. Where can people find that and find, more on social? Where can people find everything Console Creatures?
You can find us basically consolecreatures.com. The front page is littered with today's State of Play. So if you want to look at any specific game, there's a link to it. There's an article, there's a trailer, and some information. Console Creatures on all your social feeds, like, you'll find us. We're everywhere.
Yep. And how about yourself, Bobby? Where can people find you?
Well, after tomorrow, I'll probably be hiding in the sand for spoilers for Final Fantasy, but everywhere else, it's B Pashalitis on social links.
Amazing. Dave.
Yeah, I will be having my my voice on quite a few reviews coming up at consolecreatures.com, which is great. Some indie titles that I'm working through right now, which I have had a blast with so far. So I will keep that to myself just for a little bit. And also in the coming weeks, just beware, I'm going to be playing lots of Steam Next Fest as well. So I'm going to have some games to talk about with that too. Lots of demos coming up, everybody. Lots of demos
Lots of
through February.
gaming.
Yeah, lots of
There's
gaming
like
coming
it.
up.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, so many. And you can follow my my ramblings online at Dave Petro across the board and at consolecreatures.com.
Very cool. As for me, I'm gonna go play Silent Hill and see if this, PT inspired game was worth the install. But you can find me all across the internet at svigvari. And yeah, I want to point out, be sure go check out last week's episode where we interviewed the Avowed team. Really, really proud of that one. Came out at a very unforeseen time. A lot of news surrounding the industry at that point. Obviously, the focus was taken away from run-of-the-mill news and put on people who lost their jobs, who were laid off in the industry, rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, I just wanted to point that out back to the audience.
Great
I'm
listen,
very
by the way. I listened to it because I
Thank
wasn't able to be there last week. It's a great 2 episodes, honestly, that you guys put out last week. So lots of good stuff.
Yeah. It was very nice of Obsidian to come on the show, talk to us about Avowed.
Yeah.
Definitely, if you guys can, go check it out, go share with friends. Very proud of that one, and I hope that we can do more stuff like that in the future, but wanted to put that on your radar in case you missed it on the feeds. But thank you all for tuning in, and we'll be back next week with more. But until then, bye.
Bye.